Welcome to the November Altenew release Video Hop, and I will be creating a card using the Craft Your Life project kit of this month. Now, if you're not aware, these are project kits that are made in a bundle by Altenew, and you get lots and lots of products that actually coordinate with each other. So I'm going to show you what you get for this month. This is the stamp set. It's all about honey, super adorable and such a sweet stamp set. You will find the jar for the honey as well as lots of sentiments to play with. I will be using all of these products today in a card so you can see how they come together. The fun part is that in the packaging you do get some inspiration as well. This is an add-on on this bundle. If you want to have the dies, you can grab this as well. But in the bundle you will also get this die, and this is one of those zero waste dies where you end up using not only the outline for background, for example, but also the inside images that you can cut out. And you will find that in the kit you get matching stencils. This is a set of 4 stencils that you can use, layer them one on top of the other to color the images. And finally, there is the embossing folder, which is going to provide the perfect background for your projects. I will be creating a card using all of these products today so you can see them in action, and keep in mind there are lots of giveaways to be won. Just follow along all the steps on the video hop and leave a comment. I'm going to start by doing all the stamping. I want to have some of the elements from the stamp set, which are the jar, the honey spoon, I'm going to call it a spoon, or is it a dipper? Anyway, and also I want to stamp the sentiment too. So I'm starting by stamping the outline, and I always like to do the outline a couple of times just to get a good, nice impression of the main design. And then the stamp set gives you a layer stamp which is going to give you the honey. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a technique for this one so that I can end up with 2 colors just by using this solid stamp. So I'm picking 2 colors from this set of ink pads, and I will be having everything I use linked down below in the description. And then just because this is a big area, you need to prep it a little bit to get a good impression. You can either do that with your fingers or the back of your palm, just rub it, or if you have one of those erasers, just go all over that area to make sure that it doesn't have any residue. This is going to make sure that it picks up the color perfectly. You will find that it's going to look kind of milky or frosty. Don't worry about it, that's the look that you want. So now I'm going to go with the first color, which is my light yellow, and deliberately I didn't go all the way to the top, which I'm going to blend out with the best tool that we have, our fingers. You can definitely go all the way up if you like. I just wanted to give the impression of ombre effect, as if the jar is not all the way to the top full. Now I'm going to do the technique where I will be using the exact same solid stamp. I don't even bother cleaning it because I'm switching to a slightly darker color, and I'm going to dab a little bit of color only at the base of that stamp. This way I will end up having a blended look just by stamping with 2 different colors. You can always use your finger a little bit or a blending tool on the edges, but I was going for a not super blended look, so this is how it looks, and I absolutely love it. I love the vibrancy of it. And now for the fabric lid, including the string, there are 4 different stamps that you can layer one on top of the other. I'm starting with vanilla, which is the first layer. I will go lighter to darker for this one, and I'm using inks from the same set of ink pads. So here I used hazelnut for the second layer. I will gradually go to a darker shade for the deeper shadows, which is almond butter. And you see how lovely it builds that. You can definitely go with different colors. If you don't want to have that warmer look, you can go with shades of pink or shades of red. all will match beautifully for a fabric. And then for the string I went with milk chocolate. So I am going to also stamp the wooden honey spoon. And again, there are 4 different dyes. I will be using the same set of brown inks for that. And I'm also going to stamp the sentiment. And with the magic of video editing, here are all of them ready to go. I will be using the matching dies and run them through my die cutting machine. So I do have my elements, and since I want to create a full composition, and I do have in my kit the zero waste die, I am going to use this one along with the matching stencil to have some fillers for the composition. So I will basically use leaves and a flower from this, but you can definitely add even more elements, or you can even go with the bee, which I forgot to use actually. I think it would make a great element and give my card more life. So here I'm using the stencil number 1. There are numbers on the stencils, which is very helpful. And I'm adding a little bit of thinking. I don't want to overwhelm the flower with color, oversaturated. So very light application of 2 colors. With the second color I mainly go at the center of my daisy. I will remove the stencil number 1 and I will move on to stencil number 2, and you will see how easy it is for me to align them since I'm using the corner of my stamp wheel. Now I am going to do only the center of the daisy, and again I do have those browns on my desk from coloring the fabric of the honey jar, so I will use those for the center of my daisy as well. Now I will lift the stencil number 2, and you will see that stencil number 3 doesn't have what I was going for, which is the 3rd layer for the daisy. So I'm just going to skip that one and move on to stencil number 4, which will give me the extra center for the daisy as well as the leaves which I want. Now at this part of the stencil you will find many leaves. I'm just going to ink up 3 of them. I don't know at this stage how many I want for my composition, but it's better to have more than less, so I don't have to do the inking all over again and the die cutting. So once I'm happy, I'm going to place the die on top, and you will see that it is not difficult to align at all. I'm going to use some Scotch tape to keep it in place, but again this would make a great panel. You can definitely take your time and use the stencils so that when you cut out this area you end up with lots and lots of images to play with. Now I have all my cutouts ready to go, and let's work on the background. For the background I'm going to use a small white panel which I'm just going to run through my die cutting machine with the embossing folder. This is going to give me a lovely honeycomb background. Hopefully you can see the beautiful design. You can bring it out to life more if you do different techniques like inking for example, but I'm only going to ink up one area. I'm going for a more clean and simple look, so just a little bit of inking in one corner will do the trick. Now, in the beginning I was planning to use this burnt orange background, but I will change my mind at the end. You will see I'm going to change completely the background because I was feeling that it was just washing out all the colors. So anyway, I'm going to put together my composition. And the fun part about having all those cutouts is that you can play around, audition them, decide on the composition, and when you are happy, you can definitely go ahead and stick everything down. Now, I always like to have elements pop on my card. That's why for some of the elements I went with foam tape at the back, like the jar and the flower, and then I can tuck behind the leaves. Now, I'm also going to add my sentiment. And this is me changing the plan. So I just ripped off the panel along with the composition from that burnt orange background, and I'm switching to this yellow one. I also did a little bit of inking in one corner using one of the inks that I have already used, so I kind of bring everything together. And this is the final step. You can completely omit the splattering, I just cannot stay away from it, but you can use sequins, gems or anything else that you find pleasing to your eyes. Down below in the description you can find links to everything I used in this video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had fun and that you got inspired.